Good evening. George Will here. Breaking news tonight that represents the definitive end of the relationship between Prince William and Prince Harry, brothers who were once inseparable, who supported each other through their mother's death and the unique pressures of royal life, but who are now permanently estranged with no path to reconciliation. We're not talking about continued silence or ongoing tension. We're talking about Prince William sending a final formal communication to Harry, making it explicitly clear that he wants no contact, no communication, no relationship now or in the future, and that Harry should never attempt to reach out to him, to Catherine, or to their children. According to sources with direct knowledge of the communication, William sent this message through legal intermediaries in late January 2025, after years of estrangement and after Harry's various attempts at reconciliation were rejected. The message is described as unequivocal, final, and emotionally devastating. William telling his younger brother that the damage is irreparable, that trust can never be rebuilt, that William wants nothing to do with Harry for the rest of their lives, and that Harry needs to accept this reality and stop attempting contact. Tonight, we examine what prompted William to take this extraordinary step of formally and permanently closing the door on his brother, what the message specifically said, how Harry responded when he received it, what this means for any future family relationships or reconciliation, and why sources say William believes this finality is necessary not just for himself, but to protect his wife, Catherine, and his children from further hurt. Because when you reach the point of telling your own brother to never contact you again, that's not anger or temporary estrangement. That's the death of a relationship. Before we go any further, I need you to subscribe and hit that notification bell. What you're about to hear is based on information from sources close to both brothers, people who've been involved in attempted reconciliation efforts, and analysis of what brought these brothers from childhood closeness to permanent estrangement. This is about the end of a relationship that once defined both their lives. So subscribe now and let's proceed. Let's start with what we know about the communication William sent and how it was delivered, because the formality and method tell us about the seriousness. According to sources, William did not communicate directly with Harry. After years of refused phone calls, unanswered letters, and rejected attempts at direct communication, William decided that any final message needed to go through formal channels to ensure it was received and understood. The communication was delivered through legal representatives, specifically lawyers who represent William in various matters. This wasn't a casual email or text. This was a formal, written communication delivered by people whose job is to ensure clarity and create documentation. The message was reportedly delivered in late January 2025, shortly after reports emerged about Harry's potential return to UK and reconciliation discussions. Sources say William wanted to definitively shut down any notion that reconciliation was possible or that the door was open if Harry just did certain things. What the message said, while the exact wording hasn't been disclosed publicly, sources familiar with the communication describe it as containing several key points. Explicit statement that the relationship is over. William reportedly stated clearly that he considers his relationship with Harry permanently ended, not paused, not on hold pending apologies or changes, but ended, finished, over. Direction not to contact. William specifically requested that Harry not attempt to contact him, Catherine, or their children, George, Charlotte, and Louis, not through intermediaries, not through family members, not on special occasions, not ever. Explanation that trust cannot be rebuilt. William reportedly explained that the damage Harry has caused through his public attacks, his lies and distortions in the Oprah interview and memoir, and his betrayal of family confidences has made trust impossible. Even if Harry apologized perfectly and changed completely, William said he could never trust him again. Protection of his family. William stated that his primary responsibility is to protect his wife and children from further hurt and from someone he now views as toxic and destructive. He will not expose them to Harry's presence or influence. Acknowledgement of permanence. William reportedly acknowledged that this might seem harsh or final, but that he's thought about it carefully, and this is his considered decision. He's not acting in anger, but in recognition of reality. Wish for Harry to move on. William apparently expressed hope that Harry could build a life for himself, but that life needed to be completely separate from William and his family. The tone is described as cold, formal, and absolutely final. Not angry screaming or emotional outburst, but calm statement of permanent decision. Now let's examine what prompted William to take this step now. Because timing matters in understanding his decision, several factors appear to have contributed to William's decision to send this final communication. Harry's divorce filing and potential UK return. Reports that Harry was filing for divorce from Meghan and possibly exploring return to UK apparently alarmed William. He worried Harry might believe divorce would make reconciliation possible, that removing Meghan from the picture would fix things. William wanted to make clear that even if Harry left Meghan, even if Harry returned to UK, the door would still be closed. Continued public statements. Harry has continued making statements in interviews and through representatives suggesting he wants family relationships, that he's open to reconciliation, that he hopes to repair things with his brother. William reportedly views this as manipulative, Harry publicly positioning himself as wanting peace while privately having done nothing to earn it. The final message was partly to stop this narrative. Attempts at manipulation through their father. Sources say Harry has tried to use King Charles as intermediary, knowing Charles wants family healing and might pressure William to reconcile. William apparently wanted to make clear to both Harry and their father that no amount of pressure or persuasion would work. Protection of his children. As George, Charlotte, and Louis get older and become more aware of family dynamics, William wanted to establish clear boundaries. He doesn't want Harry showing up at events or trying to contact the children. The formal message creates clear record of William's wishes. Catherine's health and well-being. After Catherine's cancer diagnosis and treatment, William is even more protective of her well-being. The stress of ongoing Harry's situation, the possibility he might try to reconcile, the uncertainty, William wanted to eliminate all of that by making the situation crystal clear. Realization, reconciliation is impossible. William has apparently concluded that even if Harry did everything right going forward, apologized perfectly, made amends, changed completely, the relationship still couldn't be saved. Once you reach that conclusion, maintaining ambiguity serves no purpose. Better to be clear and final. Let's discuss what sources close to William say about his thinking and emotional state regarding this decision, because it's not taken lightly. According to people who know William well and have discussed this situation with him, William describes feeling grief over the loss of his brother, comparable in some ways to losing his mother. The Harry he grew up with, the brother he loved and relied on, is gone. That person either never existed as William understood him, or has been so fundamentally changed by Meghan's influence and Harry's choices that he's unrecognizable. William reportedly said, "I mourned my brother already. The person I thought he was doesn't exist anymore. The person he is now is someone I don't know and don't trust." William distinguishes between anger and acceptance. He's not sending this message in a fit of rage. He's angry about what Harry did, but he's moved past that to acceptance that the relationship is over. The message isn't punishment, it's clarity. William believes he gave Harry every opportunity. After the Oprah interview, after the Netflix series, after Spare, at each point, William was willing to listen if Harry genuinely apologized and showed real change. Harry never did. William feels he exhausted all reasonable options before reaching this point. William views this as protecting his family, which is his highest priority. Even if there was 1% chance reconciliation could work, the 99% chance of further hurt to Catherine and the children makes it not worth attempting. William has discussed this decision with Catherine, who fully supports it. She's been hurt by Harry's attacks on her character and by Meghan's treatment. She has no interest in ever having relationship with either of them, and she supports William closing the door permanently. William has told close associates, some relationships can't be fixed, some trust can't be rebuilt, some betrayals can't be forgiven. This is one of those situations. Now let's examine how Harry responded when he received William's message, because his reaction tells us about his understanding of the situation, according to sources who've spoken with Harry or been briefed on his response. Harry was reportedly devastated when he received the communication. Despite years of estrangement and silence, He apparently held on to hope that eventually, somehow, he and William would reconcile. The finality of William's message shattered that hope. Harry's initial response was denial and disbelief. He apparently told people he doesn't mean it. He's angry, but he'll change his mind eventually. We're brothers. We'll work it out. Sources say Harry genuinely doesn't understand the depth of damage he caused or why William can't forgive him. Harry believes that if he apologized and meant it, William should accept the apology and move forward. He doesn't grasp that some actions cause irreparable harm. Harry reportedly wanted to respond, to try to explain himself, to plead for one more chance. His advisors and friends apparently told him that responding would be pointless and potentially make things worse. William's message was clear: no contact means no contact. There's apparently anger mixed with the grief. Harry feels abandoned, believes William has turned his back on him when family should stick together regardless. He doesn't fully accept responsibility for creating the situation that led to this outcome. Harry has told people he'll try again in the future, that time will heal things, that eventually William will soften. Sources close to William say this is delusion. William's decision is final and time won't change it. Let's discuss what King Charles thinks about William's decision to permanently close the door on Harry, because this affects the entire family dynamic. According to sources familiar with Charles's perspective, Charles is deeply saddened by the permanent estrangement between his sons. As a father, he wants his children to have relationship with each other. As someone facing his own mortality with cancer, he wants family healing before he dies. However, Charles reportedly understands and respects William's decision. He knows what Harry did. He knows how deeply Harry hurt William and Catherine, and he recognizes William has the right to protect himself and his family. Charles apparently told William, I understand why you've made this choice. I wish it were different, but I understand. You have to do what's right for your family. Charles has apparently accepted that he can't force reconciliation between his sons. He can have individual relationships with each of them. He remains open to Harry despite everything, but he can't make them have relationship with each other. There's reportedly some tension between Charles and William about this. Charles believes in forgiveness and second chances, while William believes some betrayals are unforgivable. But Charles respects William's autonomy as an adult and as future king who must make his own decisions. Charles has told associates, William is hurt in ways I can't fully understand. He gets to decide if and when he forgives. I can't make that choice for him. Now let's examine what this permanent estrangement means for various family scenarios and future situations, because practical implications matter. Royal events and gatherings. William's message means Harry should not attend any royal events where William and his family will be present. This effectively excludes Harry from future coronations when William becomes king, royal weddings, William's children, other family members, state occasions and ceremonies, family christenings, birthdays, celebrations, funerals. Even this creates complications. If Harry does attend events, William has apparently indicated he and his family will not attend. Given William's position as heir, this means Harry would need to choose between attending or allowing family events to proceed with senior royals present. King Charles's funeral. When Charles dies, both sons would reasonably want to attend their father's funeral, but William's message creates impossible situation. Sources say William has indicated that if Harry attends Charles's funeral, William and his family will not participate in public ceremonies. This would create enormous problem for a state funeral. William has apparently said that Charles can make his own decisions about Harry, but that won't change William's position. If Charles wants Harry at funeral, fine, but William won't be in same room. Children's relationships. William's message extends to his children. George, Charlotte, and Louis should have no contact with their Uncle Harry or their cousins Archie and Lilibet. William is protecting his children from someone he views as toxic. This means the cousins will grow up as strangers. Archie and Lilibet will never know George, Charlotte, and Louis. That's sad for all 5 children, but William has decided it's necessary. Future of the monarchy. When William becomes king, he will be in position to make formal decisions about Harry's titles, security, residence, and role. William's current message suggests he would fully exclude Harry from any role or support as king. This creates interesting succession questions. Harry is currently fifth in line to throne. William can't remove him from line of succession, but he can make clear Harry would never be called upon to serve in any capacity. Let's discuss what experts on family estrangement say about permanent breaks between siblings, because this situation isn't unique, even if it's very public. Family therapists and psychologists who study sibling relationships note several patterns. Permanent estrangements typically involve betrayal of trust that can't be rebuilt, fundamental value differences that make relationship impossible, protection of one's immediate family from toxic influence, exhaustion of all reconciliation attempts before final break. William's decision fits this pattern. This isn't impulsive or premature, it's the conclusion of years of attempted reconciliation and repeated disappointment. Sibling estrangements in adulthood often result from disputes over care of aging parents, conflicts involving spouses, in-laws, betrayal of confidences or public embarrassment, different life choices or values creating unbridgeable gaps. Again, William and Harry's situation involves several of these factors. Meghan's role, Harry's public attacks, fundamental disagreement about family loyalty. Permanent breaks are more likely when the offending party doesn't genuinely acknowledge wrongdoing. Apologies are performative rather than sincere. Patterns of behavior continue rather than change. Trust has been violated repeatedly rather than once Harry hasn't genuinely apologized or shown real change, making William's assessment that reconciliation is impossible more understandable. Effects on families. Other family members forced to choose or maintain separate relationships, holidays and events become complicated. Children on both sides affected sadness and grief for what was lost. The extended royal family is now managing exactly these complications. Now let's examine whether there's any scenario under which William might change his mind, because finality claims are sometimes later reversed. Based on William's character, his statements, and the depth of damage, scenarios that might possibly lead to reconsideration. Scenario 1. Life-threatening emergency. If Harry faced death or serious medical crisis, William might possibly visit or reconnect at human level. However, even this isn't certain. Some estrangements are so deep that even impending death doesn't bridge them. Scenario 2. Harry's complete transformation. If Harry spent years in genuine therapy, made public and private amends, demonstrated complete change, took responsibility without excuses, and rebuilt trust through consistent actions over many years, possibly William might eventually soften. However, this would require a level of self-awareness and sustained effort that Harry has never demonstrated, and even then, William has indicated trust can't be rebuilt. Scenario 3. Catherine's intervention. If Catherine, for whatever reason, believed reconciliation was necessary or beneficial, she might encourage William to reconsider. However, Catherine has been hurt as much as William and fully supports the permanent break. Scenario 4. Time and perspective. Sometimes with years or decades passing, people reassess estrangements and decide life is too short for permanent breaks. When William is 60 or 70, he might feel differently. However, William is a deliberate, principled person who doesn't make decisions lightly. If he's thought this through carefully and concluded the break is necessary, time likely won't change that. Most realistic assessment, the door is actually closed. Mental health professionals who work with estranged families say that when someone goes to the trouble of sending formal written message through lawyers explicitly ending relationship, they're serious. This isn't heat of moment anger. This is considered final decision. William means what he said. Harry needs to accept that reality rather than waiting for change that won't come. Let's zoom out for a moment, because this permanent estrangement tells us something about loyalty, family, and the consequences of betrayal. William and Harry grew up with extraordinary bond. They lost their mother at young ages and supported each other through that trauma. They faced unique pressures of royal life together. They were each other's closest confidant for years. But Harry chose to publicly attack his brother and sister-in-law. He sold family confidences for profit. He made allegations he knew were false or distorted. He prioritized his celebrity career and his wife over family loyalty. Those choices had consequences. William gave Harry multiple chances to make amends. Harry didn't take them, and now William has decided the relationship is over. This isn't William being unforgiving or cruel. This is William recognizing that some betrayals are unforgivable, that some relationships can't be saved, and that protecting his immediate family is more important than maintaining connection with someone who's proven untrustworthy. Harry gambled that he could attack his family publicly, profit from their dysfunction, trash their reputations, and still have them welcome him back when he wanted. He lost that gamble. The lesson is clear. Loyalty matters, family bonds have limits, public betrayal has consequences, and sometimes burning bridges means they can't be rebuilt. So here's where we stand tonight. Prince William has sent formal communication through legal intermediaries to Prince Harry, explicitly stating that their relationship is permanently over, requesting no further contact with him or his family, and making clear that trust can never be rebuilt, regardless of what Harry does going forward. The message was delivered in late January 2025, after years of estrangement and following reports of Harry's possible reconciliation attempts. It represents William's final, considered decision rather than momentary anger. Harry was reportedly devastated but doesn't fully accept the finality, believing time will heal things. Sources close to William say he's delusional. The decision is permanent. This estrangement has practical implications for royal events, Charles's eventual funeral, children's relationships, and the future of the monarchy when William becomes king. Experts on family estrangement say permanent breaks between siblings typically result from exactly the patterns William and Harry have shown: betrayal, repeated disappointment, and protection of immediate family from toxic influence. The relationship that once defined both brothers' lives is over. And based on everything we know about William's character and his careful decision making, this time it really is final. Now I turn it over to you. Do you think William is right to close the door permanently? Type "he's right" if you believe William is justified in ending the relationship permanently. Type "too harsh" if you think families should always find way to reconcile. Type "Harry's fault" if you believe Harry caused this and has no right to complain. If you believe some betrayals are unforgivable, that protecting your immediate family is more important than maintaining toxic relationships even with siblings, and that Harry created this situation through his own choices and now must live with consequences, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, because this is the end. William has closed the door. And unlike previous conflicts or periods of tension, this time there's no ambiguity. The relationship is over. Harry needs to accept that reality and move forward with his life without his brother in it. I'm George Will. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next analysis.